Greetings and welcome back to the Old Ways Rising Farm YouTube channel on this beautiful sunny early spring day where we have some big announcements to talk about. We've been working on some things here. The publishing schedule has been a little bit hit and miss because we've been working on some really big things. And the first of these that I want to talk about is a class that I'm going to be helping to teach up in Maine called New Beginnings, Ancestral Skills for Self-Reliance. Now, for 9 months or so, I've been in communication with Michael Douglas, who is the founder of the Maine Primitive Skills School, and we've been talking about a lot of stuff, and that stuff has culminated in bringing this class forward. It's going to be in late May, the week in between Memorial Day and Father's Day, the week that those two holidays sandwich when we're going to do this. It's going to span 2 weekends. And the first and the last day will be the first Saturday and the last Sunday will be relatively unscheduled to accommodate those who need to travel. And we're really, really excited about this. It's going to be an experience that's intended to be hopeful, uplifting, grounding, and accessible to everybody, whether you have a whole lot of experience in the arena of primitive skills or whether you have none. Okay, so by training, I'm an ethnobotanist. I got my master's degree in ethnobotany from University of Hawaii. Okay, and I grew up as pretty much a feral child, just roaming the woods in which I'm currently sitting. And there's something that happens as you learn more and more and more about the things around you. It goes from just a pretty vista with patterns of green, blue, and brown to a place full of everything that you need and home. Okay? So as you go from knowing nothing about the forest other than I saw an overlook sign and pulled the car over, and boy, that was a pretty green mountain, right? Just as an artist sees it. There's nothing wrong with that. You should never lose that. But when you go from just the beauty of the scene and you learn a few plants that you can eat, and you learn a couple things about first aid in the wilds, well, now there's specific things that you can pick out that you know, right? The tree I'm sitting underneath here, the eastern white pine, has beautiful medicine in it. And you can make some wonderful things out of the princess pine just out of the view behind me. And blueberry right there, and cattails behind me. And you start to get acquainted with these, and you realize I'm not just surrounded by beautiful green things, but literally everything that I'm looking at. Right, burls in the tree up behind me that can be turned into bowls and cooks as food, medicine, food, fish. And you start to see all of this as a source of health and help for the family, for the community, for the person. And it changes how you experience the world around you. Okay? And we live in a world that's increasingly uncertain, uneasy, fearful, and angry. And some would say that knowledge is the antidote to fear, but in a lot of ways, a little of the wrong knowledge can be its own source of fear. What's really an antidote to fear is understanding.
And gratitude.
And gratitude, yes. And as we build the understanding and gratitude of all of these things around us, and it goes from wilderness to home, a lot of that fear just vanishes. But in order to do that, we do need some knowledge, right? It's a step. Knowledge is a step towards understanding. Knowledge of what you can eat, what you can do with different things, and how you can make the tools and materials that allow you to access those things, right? A naked person in the middle of nowhere without a knife is pretty close to useless, right? We need to have some tools in order to access all of that abundance, okay? And build that understanding and work towards that gratitude. Okay? And that's what this class is about. We're going to start at the beginning of the class making tools, work through understanding materials, and then making things at the end. Right? Bone carving, we're going to be doing some metalworking, all just with the campfire, no forge needed for any of what we're doing, but we're going to end up making knives, making awls, making tools, making adhesives off of the landscape, making fiber arts as we work through, making the tools at the beginning that you'll be using at the end. And all along, we'll be doing foraging, understanding just forest literacy, for lack of really a better term, understanding the resources and what you can put into what, and it's going to be a great experience. So I hope that you'll join us for that. There is a link to Maine Primitive Skills School and the class announcement at the bottom of the screen. So I hope that you'll check those things out and check out the class announcement, and I hope that you will come and visit with us and take part in this experience. A little more proximal, specifically to the YouTube channel, I've bitten off some projects that are quite large and quite time-consuming, and it's just taking time to get the videos out. I'm working on, this one is almost done, this will be the next video, carving this bone-handled knife with some beaver paw prints and a beaver tail pattern. Okay, so this is coming soon. This is 90% done. That'll be the next one. We're working on some make your own gear type videos where we're modifying a hatchet to go from just a regular, inexpensive, off the shelf commercial hatchet to a good bushcraft hatchet that you really want to use and carry. We're going to be making some packs. We're going to be making some pack frames. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of that kind of stuff. But this set of videos is just taking longer, so I can't promise a committed release schedule. We've got three videos in the works, collecting two that are very much in the works that we filmed on already, a third that I'm collecting materials for, but I'm going to be putting a lot of time into preparation for this class. So again, we've got a lot of good stuff coming. Can't promise a release schedule on the videos because we've got some of these bigger projects to work on, but I hope that you will come join us for the class and keep joining us here for Old Ways Rising Farm.